Back to work. This is getting kind of monotonous for the big games in this league. Got brought up earlier today, but our team's very excited about the game this week. Looking forward to playing Tech out there, and be a great challenge for us on both sides of the ball. Offensively, everybody's aware of what they've been able to accomplish. I don't think we need to talk a lot about what they're doing on offense. Quarterback's playing very well, and Crabtree obviously is. Can he come out this year?
Yep.
That's a good thing. He's playing very well. The running back's playing well. You know, they have. I think it's. They got 4 or 5 guys that are averaging over 4 catches a game, so they're doing a nice job of spreading it out offensively. And
Thank you, Mike.
you're welcome. Defensively, very similar to the scheme that they've used in the last few years. Running to the ball more, tackling better in our opinion. Safeties are number 7. They're tackling much better on defense, more aggressive up front. So that's why they're having success, in my opinion. Playing very well, and obviously deserve to be ranked where they're at.
You've said a lot of times it's a lot more fun to be a player than it is to be a coach. But have you had time to reflect and even think about how much fun it has been from a competitive standpoint, all these big games? I mean,
well,
you enjoy being in them, don't you?
I enjoy being in them. The preparation is much more difficult. And I think that it's kind of here to stay, you know, and then in the way things are moving in the Big 12. But they're a lot of fun to compete in. Obviously, it's not like being a player, but as a coach, it's very challenging. There's good coaches in this league, and they make adjustments on game day, and they have their little schemes that they come up with for each game that are very interesting. So it's a lot of fun. Again, you know, it can be difficult in this league week to week, trying to maintain a high level of performance, not only as a player, but it's important as a coach. There's a lot of work that goes in each week, and you have to continue. There's just not a lot of time to back off.
Mike, can you recall a stretch, whether as a player or as a coach, where you've had this many high caliber matchups in a 5-week span on the road?
Certainly not as a player. When I was playing in the Big 8, we didn't. You know, there were going to be 2 or 3 teams that were ranked in the top 25 maybe in our league, and that was it. So not as a player. As a coach, I don't remember playing this many teams or this many teams that's been in one division that's been ranked in the top 10.
Everybody at this level's got good receivers. Any major college program, can you remember a game with 2 guys quite like this?
Well, it would have to be somebody that we played against when we had Hartley Dykes or Rashawn Woods. Tech's had some really good receivers in the past, right? When Rashawn was here, they had some good players. I'm not going to say they were at the level of this young man. He's very impressive, but I don't remember of any of name like Crabtree.
Did y'all try to recruit him out of Carter?
Yeah, I think we were the first to offer him. One of the first to offer him. He was playing quarterback and running back and playing some defense. I remember seeing him in spring ball.
Did y'all project him as a receiver?
Yes.
Did you imagine that this?
Oh, I don't think anybody could. But I remember seeing him at Carter and seeing him in the spring, and the coaches talking about him, and very athletic, and he was playing 2 or 3 different positions and was having success. And best I remember, you'd have to ask him, I think he wanted to play college basketball. But then he committed to Tech, and that was kind of the end of it.
Coach, you guys have done well on the road in your other 2 big games. Does that give you some confidence heading into this one?
I hope so. You know, they brought that question up this morning. I think we're more mature as a team. You know, you never know what's going to happen in games like this. Nobody does. But do I feel better about our approach and where we're at as a team right now and the maturity? Yes.
You've done this for the night games. When you get a night game on the road, you stay a little longer in town Friday, leave a little later. You think that has an impact, or is it just something you become comfortable with?
I want the players to go to class on Friday, and we miss a lot of school when we travel, and so they have an opportunity to go to school and we can practice and then travel out there at night. There's no reason to go out there in the morning and be there for 2 days before the game. So we just get in there at nighttime and feed them and let them get some rest and start the next day.
When Zach was up here, he talked about going into this Tech game last year not really knowing what his future was. I wonder if after that game, maybe before that game you knew, but if you had any question about him being the future quarterback for you?
A year ago?
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard to answer. I don't know if I had any question. I know that we told him that it was his job, and he had an opportunity to go out and play. And if he continued to play well, that he would keep it. And I don't know how guaranteeing that is, but I think that's kind of the way we handled it at that particular time.
Did you know more about Zach coming out of that game after the second start, first at home, than you probably did?
He played well. Found out he could run good. He rushed for over 100 yards in that game, and handled himself pretty well in some crucial situations.
The touchdown pass he threw to Brandon Pettigrew that was the game winner point-wise in that game last year. What do you remember on that, from the play call to the execution?
Well, Brandon caught the ball and made a guy miss and ran down the field and made another guy miss, I think, and then he stiff-armed a third guy. So that was one of those passes that were, it was a 5-yard pass and a 60-something yard run or a 50-yard run. It's more of the run than the pass.
Talk about Brandon. He seems to be healthy. He played down by the goal line this last week. He broke a couple tackles and got tackled just short of the goal line. Is he back to himself?
He's getting close. He's still not himself. If you watch him, if he gets in space and takes off and runs, he drags that foot some. But he's certainly playing at a much higher level than he was 2 weeks ago. They say it could be another 2 weeks before he really gets back to full speed, but he's doing very well and he's been productive for us. We didn't use him as much in the passing game because of the scheme that was presented to us, but he was a very good blocker for us and was the main reason we were able to get the ball on the perimeter last week.
Mike, you put yourself in position to win a Big 12 title. How important would it be in building this program if you guys win the league championship?
Well, I think it'd be a great step for our program. Obviously that's something we've talked about that we feel like hasn't been talked about enough in the last 8 or 10 years around here. In those circumstances, you don't want to talk too much, and you don't want to talk not enough. You just kind of want to go out and do your job and prepare the players and hope that they'll play hard and expect to have success. But I think that when we win a championship around here, that it will just be another step in the continuing growth that we're in the process of right now.
What makes Lubbock such a unique atmosphere, tough place to play?
That's a hard question. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to answer that. I'm not sure.
Is your team more confident on the road now than even at the beginning of this season?
I hope so. Earlier we were talking about that. We played good at Missouri and we played okay at Texas, and so you'd like to think that they've matured enough now that once they get into the game and that they can eliminate the environment and don't worry about all the sideshow and just focus on playing in the game. And I had some concerns 3 or 4 weeks ago when we started getting ranked, and there was a lot of things going on other than the game. I've noticed that in the situation we've been in the last month, there's a lot of things going on the side of the field and pre-game and post-game that just, I guess, come with the territory. That's new territory for me, so I was not familiar with it. And so I had some concerns about whether they could stay focused on the game and not see everything else going on, but they seem to be doing okay.
Speaking of new territory, are you disappointed at all that you guys didn't move up a little bit in the BCS, or is that something that you're not really paying that much attention to right now?
Well, I'm aware of it because everybody makes us aware of it. And as I've said, it starts at my house. They make me very aware of it early on Sunday. And One thing that I do when I drive into work, I listen to either politics or I listen to Mike and Mike on ESPN because I like to listen to them because I think that they make good sense, and it gets me caught up on what's going on in the world. And they had a good point this morning. And if you play in the Big 12 South, you don't have to worry about where you are right now because you're going to get to play it all out anyway.
Stephen Johnson said yesterday he was the most overlooked team in the whole equation.
Who said that?
Jimmy Johnson.
You know, I didn't even know he was still around.
He's mainly NFL, Sunday. He's a Sunday
Yeah,
guy.
I wondered what had happened to him and why he never comes around here anymore. But I didn't even realize that he was still around in college football. I mean,
not. They just do a segment at the
yeah.
end of the NFL.
I mean, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Obviously the guy's a heck of a football coach, had a lot of success. I know there's a lot of guys that are still coaching in college that have been around him and said he was as good as there was at evaluating personnel and skill and putting a team together. But I always wondered what he was doing now. That's nice of him to say that.